Family gossip. Sometimes the people who are supposed to love you the most are the same people who talk about you the most behind your back. And this can often lead to entire family estrangement. In my case, it did. Family gossip. Let me introduce myself. My name is Jana. I'm 67 years old. I live in Florida, and yes, I'm estranged from my entire family. I believe that there are 5 main reasons that a family would gossip about you, and I'm going to list those 5 things, and then I'm also going to tell you which ones I feel have been a factor in my own situation. The first reason that I want to talk about is avoidance. People avoid talking to you directly because they feel it's safer to talk behind your back. This is called avoidance. It's like they don't have the courage just to talk to you face to face, tell you how they feel. I'm not sure why. If I had to guess, it would be because they're scared to be challenged with whatever they have to say about you, so they feel safe and they go behind your back and talk about you. And in my situation, in my family, I do believe this is some of the situation, because not one of my family members have ever come face to face through a phone call, through a message, text message, or anything. Talk to me directly about any issues they might have with me. There have been a few times where they've out and out disrespected me in person, on the phone, through a message, but there's never been any real dialogue. The second reason for family gossip, I believe, is habit and entitlement. By habit, I mean family patterns, and this is definitely something that's been ongoing in my family. My family has a history of gossiping behind people's back and not having any kind of communication, especially respectful communication. Entitlement, sure, obviously somebody in your family who gossips about you behind your back feels they're entitled to do this. I'm at a loss for words here, because I don't know what would make them think that they're entitled to do something like this, because surely it would be something they would not want done to themselves, right? I hope I'm not squinting too much. I'm sitting outside and it's hot and very sunny, and I didn't want to wear my sunglasses for this video. But I did want to talk about this important subject of family gossip. The third reason I believe family gossip happens is deflection. It's a way for them to talk about somebody else, to steer away from their own faults and their own mistakes. And if they can just sit there and put all the blame on somebody else, they don't have to own up or take any accountability for anything that they have done either in their life or in the situation. Because really, if you think about it, family estrangement is multifaceted, in that it's not just one person's fault. It takes two. I think it takes two. Now there's an airplane, so I'm just going to wait until this airplane passes. I live close to Sarasota Bradenton Airport. We get a lot of planes. wait till that passes. Okay, the next reason is control. I think if somebody in your family is gossiping about you behind your back, they need, for whatever reason, to feel in control of the situation. Like they want to be the person to shape the narrative of whatever is being talked about. And the last reason, and I think this goes along with the control reason, is validation. They want to align themselves with multiple other people, especially family members, to get everybody to go along with what they're saying so they can validate their own entitled self. Have you ever heard of family scapegoating or family mobbing? Mobbing is a new term to me, but I believe it's very close to the same thing as family scapegoating, where a member of the family will get multiple other people in the family to go along with their way of thinking. It's kind of like they're ganging up on you. And I likened that to being just like bullies. And it's not even the people who participate in this family mobbing situation, but it's the ones who stay silent. For me, I do have an issue with family members who sit back, they don't support you, they don't speak to you, they're just silent, and as far as I'm concerned, they are being just as bad as the one who initiates this mobbing situation. I don't know about you, but I know for me, if I have a family member that I love and I was sitting back and just being silent and watching everybody else exclude them, gossip about them behind their back, saying untrue things, and just not even being willing to communicate in a respectful way or to try to resolve it, I could not just sit back. I could not sit back. Yeah. Let me give you a couple personal examples. Okay, so I have a niece. She's an adult. I barely know her. I've seen her a few times as a child, but she's an adult, and I am estranged from her father, who is my brother. And she came on my social media page, and she started reaming into me about how that while I was on a road trip, I didn't stop in to visit her uncle, which is my other brother. So there's definitely some family gossip going on there. Now this other brother, I'm not sure if I'm estranged from him or not. Well, I am now, but at the time, we just were never close or anything, and we rarely talked, but there were no blatant issues with him or anything. And my response to this niece on my social media page was just to say, I'm not going to discuss this here, and if so-and-so has an issue with me not visiting, then he can talk to me about it. And that just caused more of an uproar and more silence. So that's just one situation. Then there was another one. This other situation, I don't like talking about it. I don't talk about it. This is the first time I've ever talked about it. But there was a time recently, within the past year, where I was feeling really down and out and hurt and upset because I came across some family social media post where my whole family was gathered for the holiday, sitting around the table, and everybody's there smiling and having a great time, and everybody's there but me. Now the kicker is I live less than an hour away from these people, never got an invite. I'm just not wanted in the family. So I came across that, and I was feeling really sorry for myself, I guess you want to say, and angry. And I made up a poem and I posted it, and it was a generic poem. I didn't name any names, although I did say daughter, brother, etc., like general names like that. Well, one of my estranged daughters, who unfriended me on Facebook years ago, somehow was told about this poem that I wrote, and it didn't sit very well with her. And yeah, family gossip. So she proceeded to, and let me pause again for a second because I have another plane coming. Hang on. Okay, so my poem apparently triggered her so much that she decided to make a public post on Facebook and tag me and many family members, even family members who don't even know the situation of any issues that have gone on. And she just tagged everybody, and she reamed me out. Now, I did not read her post because it was very hurtful. I knew it was a reaming out because just because of the first sentence that I read, I knew it was going to be, and I know the anger that she has towards me. But yeah, so that's what she did. Now, she, like I said, she unfriended me years ago. So how did she even know about this poem that I wrote? Family gossip, right? In my poem was basically just a very sad expression of my hurt feelings. There was nothing untrue in that. They could come back and say, well, you started it, but what they fail to understand is that the things they are doing, like excluding me from holidays, caused me to have these feelings. And one thing my family doesn't like is for me to speak about it. And how dare I speak up about it, right? So there's that. How do I feel about all this family gossip? Well, obviously, it's very hurtful. It's very maddening because it makes me confused, and I don't understand why it's hypocritical, because for sure, nobody wants to be the subject of that themselves, right? It gives me self-doubt, like, what have I done to be such a bad person to be excluded like this, to not even want to try? It's a lot of self-doubt, and in my case, there are 4 grandchildren involved, and I feel really sorry for the kids, because what are they being told? How is this affecting them? Aren't they being taught that excluding somebody is the right thing to do? Why aren't they being taught about positive communication and resolution? What are they being taught about judgment? I'm really sad for the kids. It's very maddening. I will talk more about grandchildren in a future video, because that's a whole thing in and of itself. So how am I handling it? Well, at the time of that negative social media post by my estranged daughter, I wanted really bad just to ream it right back. But I didn't. I refrained. I have my tag settings set up on my Facebook page that nothing will appear without my approval, so I never approved it for my page. However, I know a lot of just my general Facebook friends did see it, because I know a few of them at least are friends with different family members. So I decided to ignore it. I feel I feel like my daughter wanted to get a rise out of me. She wanted to push me, but really what it comes down to, I think, is mindset, a belief in myself. I know I'm a good person. I know I'm not perfect. I know I've made mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes, but I don't believe I ever did anything to warrant this kind of behavior from my family. So it's definitely a mindset, that support for my wife, and keeping busy. My wife and I do have a life here in Florida. I keep busy. I have several hobbies. We go on back road trips, if you've seen any of those videos on my channel. I don't dwell on this every day. I'm speaking now because I've never had a voice. I've always been told by my family, literally, to shut up, or I'm acting like a middle schooler if I speak out. I've never had a voice, beginning with my mom as a child, and I talked about that in that video in this estrangement playlist. So I say let them gossip. Just let them. It's really only a reflection on them. It's not a reflection on me. Gossip in general, I think, is something everybody does. I know I'm guilty of it myself, but I think there's a difference between gossiping about a coworker or a neighbor. It's more superficial. When it comes to family, the people who are supposed to support you and build you up and work with you and help you out, and vice versa, it's a whole other level of hurt. Anyway, I hope you did get some value out of this video. If you can relate, or if you have your own stories, please comment. I read every single comment. I would love it if you could take a minute to subscribe. It's free. I have a playlist I've started on family estrangement. I have 2 other videos there now. I do plan on continuing on with my story. Part 1 of my story was what happened with my mother. My next one in that series is going to be what happened with my brothers, and then I'll move on to what happened with me and my 3 adult daughters. So please take care. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you in the next one.